Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your September 2016 reading. Let's see what's going on for you. First, I am still collaborating with Marie Moore, by the way, so definitely check her out if you haven't yet. She does monthlies and weekly videos, astrology and tarot. You can check her out at the link below. But let's see what is going on for you this month. And wow, definitely a good month for you. Right away. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Everything that's going on here makes a lot of sense with the astrology, I have to say, as well, with the two eclipses and things like that. I actually think you'll be seeing a return. A lot of people think of eclipses a lot of astrologers say eclipses eclipse things out and all this other stuff, which they do. That's definitely what happens, but I look at eclipses as also being able to return things to us, return energy, and possibly in a different way. So you could be seeing a lot of returns this month as well. I just want to get a good idea of what's going on for you. So, you have the Four of Diamonds coming up first. Definitely thinking about moving and planning on moving. It's it's a huge moving year, I think, for people. I've said it a bunch of times before that I get a ton of moving questions, number one, in my personal readings, and it just seems like a lot of people are moving. So a lot of you could be thinking about moving, planning a move, getting ready for a move, all those things. Four of Diamonds. Fours represent the home, but usually there's some sort of finance involved here because it is a Diamonds card. So it can even represent selling a home if you're trying to sell a home or something along those lines. This would be very good for that. Other than that, this card can just also represent if you're not moving, and even if you are, it can represent more money coming into the home. It can represent you making more money, or it can even represent somebody you live with or maybe you share the home with making more money as well. However, I would have to say that it's going to be you that could be getting some surprising money coming in. You have the Ten of Diamonds. This is a card of prosperity. It is another card of moving, so you have two tens here. You also have that Four of Diamonds, and you have the Ace of Hearts coming in here. So these are all home-based cards. They're all cards that represent moving or traveling, or the home, or a combination of all three. So you guys have a lot of this, home-based travel, moving thing going on here. Ten of Diamonds is very fortunate card. It represents financial changes, pretty much always for the better. You have more or less no negative cards. You have like one card that can be negative coming up here, but I think actually it's coming up because things are going so well, and we'll talk about that in a second. But this card represents prosperity, travel, and more prosperity coming in. If you're looking for a job, this is a great card. I do say if you're looking for a job, this can be a tough card, but a good card at the same time, and I'll tell you why. With this card, you really have to apply to a bunch of places if you're trying to get a job. It's like one of those things where this month you want a job, you need to apply to as many places as you can. You need to apply to jobs that you don't want. This is a card that comes in, and it's kind of like the universe saying, like, prove it. Prove it that you really want a job. So you really have to prove it to the universe. Having said that, the job you'll get, if you do that, if you put in that amount of work, will basically exceed your expectations. Again, tens represent fortune after difficulty, and you have two tens here, the two best tens as far as I'm concerned. Well, two good tens. You have the Ten of Diamonds, one of the best cards in the deck. Ten of Hearts, again, definitely one of the top cards in the deck to get. So there's definitely some good things coming in for you. Next, you have the Ace of Hearts. So love could definitely be on the table for a lot of you this month. This can represent new love coming in. For me, this card really actually represents the home, and it represents where we live. Aces represent new beginnings, so again, this is where I'm getting all this like new beginning, moving type energy, potential moving energy as well. This card also represents fortune after difficulty, so it can also represent problems going away, fixing problems, and just positive transformations in general. Whenever you have two tens, it's funny, we have two eclipses this month, and you have two tens. Eclipses can be extremely transformational, and tens in the deck are the cards of transformation. At least the way I read them as transformation, changes, and all these things changing. So I think you could be going through a lot of transformations. They look very positive, so I have to say. So I like to see that for you. Next, you have the Nine of Spades. This is what I was talking about, the negative card. This card can represent disappointments and grief and dealing with disappointments and things like that. However, this card does come up frequently in positive readings. And the reason that I think it comes up, and just my intuition on it, is that it comes up because sometimes when we have a lot of positive things happening, we immediately jump to the negative, right? We immediately wonder, like, when are the bad things going to spring up? I think, people for specifically the past 4 years, we're going to talk about it when we get to this card, have dealt with some difficulties, have dealt with some things that they can't move past or whatever. So I think these difficulties kind of rear their head. And look, isn't that interesting? This guy's chopping the head off of a snake there. So pretty interesting imagery on that card. But and there goes the Nine of Spades. But yeah, I think a lot of you could jump to the negative just because things are going so well. So don't do that. Stay in the positive. Again, chop the head off that snake. Chop the head off of those negative beliefs. King of Spades is, I think, the energy that you will be embracing this month, the energy you will be using this month. Very good energy. And it's the King of Spades, to me, is the kind of the card of mastery in the deck, the card of truly having mastered something, having been through a lot of difficulties, and now kind of mastering something. It's interesting, we're moving past this, on the 22nd of August, we'll be moving past this Mars retrograde area, where Mars has been moving forward, but it's stayed in the same part of the sky as where it went retrograde. And this card's been coming up a lot in personal readings, and I keep getting this message about Mars retrograde with this card. So big part of me thinks that this card is also just representing people finally moving past the poison of Scorpio, so to speak, and really being able to move forward in a lot of ways. So I like to see this, maybe a lot of clarity, and also moving past limiting beliefs as well. So I really like to see that. Next, you have the Three of Hearts card of emotional happiness, card of being happy and just feeling good. So this is really nice, and that's really all I'm getting off of that for you this month. So you'll be feeling happy, and definitely feeling happy with these tens. You have these two tens cards. They're both cards of happiness. Ten of Hearts specifically represents fortune after difficulty. So, good things happening after a difficult period of time, moving past things. Part of me feels like these two tens are really kind of coming up around the eclipses. So again, a lot of you could be seeing these very positive changes around eclipses. I'm getting like quick changes as well. Definitely a message that's coming in for you. I just feel like there's like two snapping points here. So I think there could be some very quick, sudden changes for a lot of you as well. For a good percentage of you, I'd have to say. But Ten of Hearts represents good luck and all these other things. But it can also represent socializing, being more social, and getting together more with friends. So overall, you have an amazing month this month, I have to say. It looks really good. So thank you for watching, and definitely enjoy your September.